so that if he found any who were of the way, whether men or women, he might bring them bound to Jerusalem. Now he's talking about letters, and he went to the synagogue. So those are warrants.
Yes.
I always say Paul was a U.S. Marshal for the Roman Empire.
My
And
Lord.
he just said, the only thing changes is our, time has changed, but still our concept of life and how we act as human beings,
Exactly.
we act the same way as we did back then today. Same, our thoughts, the way we are, the way we handle ourselves.
Jesus.
As he journeyed, he came near Damascus, and suddenly a light shone around him from heaven. Then he fell to the ground, and he heard a voice saying to him, Saul, Saul, why are you persecuting me? And he said, who are you, Lord? Then the Lord said, I am Jesus whom you are persecuting. He said, it's hard for you to kick against the gourds. So he, trembling and astonished, said, Lord, what do you want me to do? Then the Lord said unto him, rise and go into the city, and you will be told what you must do. And that's one of the things we know about God. God will direct our footsteps and order us to do things that we never would have thought we would have done. He'll change you around, change your life in a way you never. We have plans, and we all plan out our life and say, hey, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to go to school, I want to get this, I want to get. But then God comes into your life. He changes all of that.
Switch it
And switch you around and turn you to me. It says, then the Lord said to him, arise and go into the city, and you will be told what you must do. And the men who journeyed with him stood speechless, hearing a voice but seeing no one. Then Saul rose from the ground, and when his eyes were opened, he saw no one. But they led him by the hand and brought him to Damascus. And he was there 3 days without sight, and neither ate nor drank.
My Lord.
So, and we know the story as those of us who have studied the word and know the word, read the Bible, we know that Paul later on was baptized by Ananias and went on and then started preaching the gospel of Jesus Christ. So that was his great term, because if you knew anything about Paul, Paul's job was to work for the Roman Empire. Same thing I was as a U.S. Marshal. My job was to do what they told me to do. Go after who they told me to go after, and I was directed. Whether the person was wrong or right, it didn't matter. You go get them and you bring them back to justice. But for me, my story, when I think about it, because I see my story a lot like even with Moses and what happened, because when you go against the mighty Roman Empire, when you go against the United States Department of Justice, that is the lead law enforcement organization of the land. That's the one that directs us on how we will carry out our laws.
Right.
And so, and you're talking about the premier law enforcement agency in the world. So when you decide to turn on them, you got your hands full, to say the least. And so did Paul when he turned on the Roman Empire. He had his hands full, to say the least. And if you don't have something, a power behind you, you will get stamped out. You will get crushed. But when God is for you, who can be against you? So one of the things that I've learned in my life, as I had to go on this journey to justice, and we continue, all of us, we learn as we go along the way how powerful God really is. How he will put us in situations we say, man, I don't know how I got out of that. But then when I started looking at what God has done for me, I know that God made a way, because he wanted to use me. He wanted to use my voice. So I had to start accepting that and saying, the things that I have done and the things that continue to happen in my life. And God said, I said, Lord, when I'm going against the most powerful government on the planet.
That's right.
Lord, I'm speaking against them. They're going to turn on me. How can I survive this? He says, stand still and see my salvation.
Yes,
So the day I decided my